Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, folks? JT here with another Chart Talk Live brought to you by Xtrades. It is Tuesday, September 16th. I hope everybody is doing well. What's up, Navy Plum? What's up, New Trader? What's up, PSEC? Good to see you all here bright and early this morning. Let me get over to the chat. Let's get this screen sharing started. There we go. That should look good. All right. Let's get, where's my OBS? There we go. Got my YouTube chat there. All right. We are ready to rock and roll. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. Let me get a little bit more coffee in here real quick. Make sure I'm good and caffeinated for this live stream. All right. So, of course, we're going to go through our usual steps here. We're going to take a look at ES. How are things looking with the markets in general? Obviously, super bullish. We're then going to take a look at some of our existing trade plans, review those, recap those, and then we'll get to some new questions, new ticker requests, all that stuff here live together this morning. So if you have any questions, any ticker requests, anything in particular you want me to take a look at as we go through this morning's live stream, please feel free to drop those questions or ticker requests in the chats, and I will be happy to get to as many of those as we possibly can as we make our way through this morning's live stream. All right. So, from an ES perspective, things are continuing to grind higher and higher. We're making it through some of these fib extensions that I put in place. Gosh, when did we put these in place? Back in July. We're up through the 1.618 now, continuing to try to push higher and get through essentially, what is this, about 60? Yeah, I was going to say about the 6,700 mark on ES. Things have continued to push higher as we've broken out through some of these key levels, and after we got our bounce off that key support back there at 64.29, we continue to see buy the dip opportunities coming out of this bullish momentum ribbon, and now it's just full momentum to the upside, not even really showing many buy the dip opportunities that you can see signaled by those triangles there. So things have continued to push higher on the markets. I don't see any reason to be too concerned about continuation to the upside, with the exception of the FOMC rate decision coming this week. Yeah, exactly. Fed meeting tomorrow. Thank you, new trader. Be very cautious. We could see things start to flatten out, get a little bit choppy as the markets anticipate that rate decision tomorrow. Lots of consensus that we will most certainly see a rate cut of some kind, some debate between 25 or 50 basis points. I could certainly see either of those being the case. Obviously, most heavily leaning toward 25 basis points. Jerome Powell's Fed doesn't like to make big moves all at once, so I would certainly lean a little bit more toward 25 basis points myself, knowing that 50 basis points is not totally out of the equation. So keep an eye on things today and tomorrow as we head into that rate decision. Again, I think that will be the thing that really unlocks either the next set of moves to the upside, or potentially sends us back down to test some supports before we push higher. But overall, market's still looking strong, still looking very much like a buy the dip market. So let's continue to exercise those buy the dip opportunities as we see them present themselves. What's up, KC? Good to see you. Good morning, and good morning to everybody else who has joined in the mix here this morning after my initial round of good mornings. All right, let's get to some trade plan recaps, and then we will work on some new ticker requests. I see we've got Dennis Rodriguez over there in the YouTube side of things. Good morning to you, Dennis. Wants to take a look at Apple. We'll take a look at Apple for you. see what kind of plans we can come up with for that. All right, so let's dig in. Let's get through some of these some of these trade plan recaps, I should say. Wolf, we've talked about this one a couple of times in the chat. Beautiful breakout. Ultimately took us all the way to PT2. Very clean test of PT2 there. And since then, we've seen some pullback back into this buying pressure, getting close to getting a test of the 200 SMA. Some nice buying support confluences all building up around that 968 level. Actually, just a little bit higher. I'd say 981. So keep an eye on Wolf for a pullback into that range. That could potentially signal a good buy the dip opportunity if you missed the first run up to PT2. That first run PT2 was pretty much spot on. High of that test there was 1123, so we were off by about 2 cents on our target there. It went a little bit higher than what we were looking for, but ultimately got to PT2 with a good test and has pulled back since getting that PT2 test again. Pretty much spot on there. So great plan, especially if you were able to execute it. And a fantastic exit there at PT2 for calls. Next we have Pin Duo Duo, or as we've started calling it, Puff Daddy Daddy. This one's been sideways the whole way through since we did our plan on it last Tuesday, but this morning pre-market testing our call entry there at 129.06 might finally give us a break to the upside here on PDD and might push through some price targets. So keep an eye on this, keep it on watch for a break over that 129.06 level, preferably a break above and a back test will give us confirmation to start pushing through some of these upside price targets. So Pin Duo Duo, keep it on your short list of ones to watch, especially on that break and confirmation over 129.06. UNH, this one broke out within the day after we did this plan last Thursday. So now we're getting into some Thursday live stream plans here. This one, like I said, gave us the break, pushed to PT1, has tested a little bit above PT1, but ultimately PT1 looking like strong resistance is pulled back to the call. Stop loss average down level there, and is consolidating. Oh gosh, excuse me, and is consolidating between the call entry and call stop loss average down. Might be consolidating some for another push to the upside here on UNH. Let's check this on a slightly higher time frame, 5 minutes. Yeah, bigger picture, hourly, still lots of buying pressure there. So keep an eye on UNH. Like I said, as long as it's holding that stop loss average down level, still looks strong and could give us another push over 351.15 to perhaps test up to PT2 on the next run if we get it. AMD, we also did on last Thursday's live stream plan. As you can see, let's drill down this time. I was going to say, as you can see, gave us a nice break above, some nice back testing of the call entry before pushing to PT1 for calls. Testing that still here pre-market this morning. So if you haven't already done so, please make sure that you are taking some profits on this AMD trade plan. It is playing out nicely so far, but don't be greedy. Sometimes PT1 is all you get. So make sure that you are taking care of business here on AMD. And then last but not least, we did Lays. That's from a couple of Thursdays ago. Okay, I went beyond. Never mind. I went one step too far on the trade plans I was pulling up. Okay, I think that's all of our trade plan recap. So let's get to some new ticker requests and some new questions, whatever you guys are looking at or want me to take a look at for the team here. Please go ahead and start dropping any questions or ticker requests in the chat. We're going to work on Apple for Dennis Rodriguez over on YouTube. PSEC wants to take a look at Oracle, and we've got APLD from KC. Okay, we can take a look at both of those. I'm sure we will have time. All right, so let's take a look at this. Yeah, all that looks good. Let me clean these up real quick. Whoops, not turn them off, clean them up. All right, Apple, what do we want to do with you? It's broken out here on the hourly, looking like a nice recovery building up off of that dip there on their announcement of the new iPhones and all the new tech coming going into the end of this year. That led to a bit of a pullback. Maybe there wasn't enough emphasis on AI in that reveal of the new iPhones, new earbuds, all that kind of stuff. So the question is, where do we really see the next window of opportunity opening up? Yeah, it's not really tested through these upper levels in a little while. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Just for a minute, I'm going to turn off these indicators. I just want to focus on the levels here. Yeah, I'm interested in this 238.62 level. I was watching it on the recent price action, this historical price action. Still looks like the key level to me. It certainly looks like it could make a push for 241 or thereabouts. Maybe just a little bit shy of that 241. I want to see what this looks like real quick. It's an interesting tap just shy of it. Yeah, maybe I've got that level just a little bit high. You should be 241.31 versus 62. That is the case. Let's go ahead and use that as a first target. I do like holding a stop on this upside trade plan here at 236.76. So let's figure out what our next targets are over 241.31. Well, that's an obvious target there for PT2. And again, I might have a level, just a little bit of an adjustment needed. I think that looks like a good PT3 for calls. All right, call side situated. Where does downside get interesting? Excuse me, I got a little bit of a stuffy nose here this morning. This is an interesting level for sure. It's not one that I have documented, currently at least. I think we might need to wait. Yeah, I want to give this, I'm going to wait a little bit longer for Apple to break. Yeah, this level's probably sitting down here actually. And with that slight adjustment, I like that as a possible put entry. Put stop loss up here at 235.19. Oh shit, the party can start. Thug Baby Yoda's in the house. What's up, Yoda? Good morning, good morning. Hope you're doing well, my friend. It's not a live stream without your presence. I'm getting there, man. I am still very much looking forward to some injections to hopefully deal with these disc-related pain issues that have plagued me for too long now. So I'm getting there though. Less than a week away. Much appreciated, my friend. Much appreciated. All right. So let's lock in these Apple plans. Yeah, I might be getting something too. I don't know why my nose is a little stuffy and uncooperative this morning. So if I sound a little congested, it's because I am. All right, let's get this Apple plan locked in here. Whoa, that's definitely not the price I'm looking for. Let's try that again. 241.30. God, I did it up there too, didn't I? God, I keep it. Why am I doing that? There we go. Whoops. Golly, I keep. Fingers don't want to listen this morning. There we go. Oh, got my indicators turned off. That looks better. Oh, that's too much. There you go. That looks good. All right. How's that? That looks solid. Let's get this shared. And of course, over in the Elite chat, get this locked into our indicator template here. Tuesday live stream plan 1. Yes. Let's get our alerts set. That all looks good. All right, alert set, template locked in, plan in place. Let's talk through it one more time and then we'll get to the next plan. Thank you for the ticker request, Dennis, over in YouTube. Much appreciated. What are we looking for here on Apple? We're looking for a break to the upside over 238.62. That should open up room up to 241.31, 243.94, and 246.04, with a stop loss average down at 236.76. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 233.04. That should give us targets at 230.44, 227.56, and 224.81, with a stop loss average down at 235.19. Those are your Apple live stream plans. Whichever direction it goes, we'll be ready. All right, we had Oracle next from the chats over in Discord. Good morning to everybody who has joined in the meantime. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's take a look at Oracle. I do have levels on Oracle, but man, they are really old and really far away. Okay, well, it's all right. Let's clean this up real quick. Clearly, it's been quite some time since I've done a trade plan on Oracle, or even really much analysis on Oracle. And so, for now, I'll be surprised if we find much on this weekly chart, but gotta take a look just to make sure. Don't think that level is going to be very useful, but we've got it in there nonetheless. Yeah, like I said, was not expecting to get much off of that weekly chart, but should probably be able to start picking up some stuff here on the daily. Let's see. Interesting top there, but this is a little bit of a TBD level. Let's go to, I don't think, yeah. Again, interesting support there. Nothing confirmed on it yet. Still a big fair value gap to fill to the downside for what it's worth. Do have a gap up opening here this morning right at about this level here. All-time highs currently. All right, let's drill down a little bit more. me zoom this in a little bit. I'm going to make sure I'm getting this level right where I want it. Okay. All right, Oracle. What are we going to do with you? Certainly does look like a break back over 322.20 should open up room to these targets and potential all-time high tests there. Question for me is stop loss average down on this. It's probably sitting right about here. Yeah. So we always like to have three targets when we can set them. In the case of Oracle, we will need some trend-based fib extensions for that. There we go. So next fib extension up here would be up to 364.20. All right, that gets the upside plan situated. Certainly see all kinds of potential supports really until this 291.80 gives way. So we're going to have to be patient. I certainly would not be overly aggressive looking for downside on Oracle based on how strong it's been post earnings report. We do have a fair value gap to fill down to here, but that's going to be our third price target. There'll definitely be a profit take here as well. But I think, yeah, I don't think Oracle's ever really been up in this neck of the woods. It is a big move on a fair value gap fill. So let's go for a 50% gap fill target, even though it's not an established level. I don't think we're cruising straight down to 258.75 on a break below 291. So we'll go at the halfway point with a price target there. Let me flag that a little bit differently. All right, so this is what our Oracle trade plans are going to look like. Oops. All right. Let's pop that on the chart. Oh, there we go. Let's make some adjustments here. Ah. No, that's, what am I doing? Pulling up every indicator except for the ones I need. Oh wait, I've already plugged all these in. What am I doing? Right? No, these are for a different. No. I've already done these. I'm like redoing everything. What am I doing here? I was trying to just adjust those. 332, 23. I just want to make sure I didn't mess any of this up. Yeah, okay. All right, we're good. Sorry. I was trying to adjust this Y offset. Come on. A little bit more. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Sorry for the brain meandering on me there for a second. All right. So here comes your Oracle live stream plans. Awesome. Happy to help there, PSEC. And let's get this posted in the Elite chat so we can grab our link for our alerts. Let's get our template locked in. Chat alerts set. All right, we're good to go. So what are we looking for here on Oracle? We are looking for a break over 322.20. That should give us targets up to 335.51, 345.51, and 364.20 with a stop loss average down at 311.14. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 291.80. That should give us price targets at 274.94. 258.75 and 241.93 with a stop loss average down at 304.79. Those are your Oracle live stream plans. Let's go get them. All right. And then we had, I think APLD was next on the list. Yeah, from KC wants to take a look at APLD, so let's get to work on that. All right, APLD. I was going to say, I thought I had done some levels on this recently. Failed bullish pennant there. Is this at all-time highs? No. Just all-time what I've charted highs. Okay. Running up against that weekly resistance level. Sorry. Dog wanted to be let out. All right. Let's get down to the 24-hour chart. Yeah, it's wet out there, buddy. Okay. Was that the one? No, yeah, I was going to say. I thought there was a spike up through some of these ranges here. All right, so APLD. Let's hide the indicators for a minute here. Yeah, there's something right around this level. Same thing here. In there. Let's check some of these 4-hour levels real quick. There's something sitting right here as well. All right, let's see how that sets us up here. Okay, so testing that weekly resistance. Tried to make a move over it there yesterday. I guess that's the last time I looked at APLD was back in June. That's what I was looking for. That's an interesting little move above here. It could be because when we're looking at the weekly chart, we're zoomed out. Can't look at extended hours on the weekly chart. I have a feeling that weekly level is sitting more like right there. If that's the case, yeah, I think we can use that as a call entry. I think, well, a couple of things. I have my stop loss right here. What are we on the 4-hour? First target. Yeah, right about here. Sorry, I'm really debating with myself. Price action's a little not quite as structured as I like is probably the right word for it. But over 2002 and over 2218, I think we take a shot at 2341. Then over that 2517. So that's the upside plan. Sorted downside plan. Yeah, I do like a break back below the 1689 level. Can share that stop loss and look for a target down here to weekly support at 1504. Then down to 1353. I do like both of those targets. If we make a slight adjustment here, I do like this weekly level down to 1141. Yeah, as our ultimate downside price target. All right, that looks good. Let's get this locked in. And shared stop loss on this one at 1862. Let's clean this up. There we go. Slight adjustment here to our y-axis. Or y-offset, I mean. Yep, that looks good. All right, we're ready to rock. This one is testing the call entry breakout here pre-market, or looks like it's ready to test it. Expand this a little bit. So here comes your APLD live stream plan. Take your time to make the magic. Doing my best to do that, my friend. All right, let's get this into the elite chat. Get our link. Lock in our template. Tuesday live stream plan. Set the alerts. Not same as chart every hour. All right, we've got this locked in. Let's talk through it one last time. What are we looking for here on APLD? We are looking for a break over 2002. That should give us targets at 2218, 2341, and 2517 with a stop loss average down at 1862. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 1689. That should give us targets at 1504. 1353 and 1141 with a shared stop loss average down there at 1862. Those are your APLD live stream plans. Let's go. All right, we are about 15 minutes out from market open. I do need a little bit of time to put the SPY plan together, make sure we're all ready for that and ready for a potentially choppy day with FOMC on the horizon tomorrow. So be very careful today and tomorrow until after we've gotten that rate decision out of the way. Could be a lot of traps, could be a lot of chop, and a lot of things to just get stuck in as far as bad trades or theta burn scenarios. So With that being said, we will be back Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to thank you all so much for joining me this morning. As we always say here on Chart Talk Live, plan your trades, trade your plans. Remember, we're looking for profits, not perfection. So keep those wins big, keep those losses small. Go out there and get some green. I will see you all in the chats. Until then, take care, and I will see you back here Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day, everybody.